This week, we're traveling to a main street west of the Mohawk Valley. This main street is part of Route 20 and home to a New York State University. This is Main Street, Morrisville. In the center of the village is historic Madison Hall, the last of 3 courthouses built on this site. In 1910, it became the main building of the newly established New York State School of Agriculture, now Morrisville State College.
Madison Hall was the county seat of Madison County. It was built in 1865 following a suspicious fire of the previous courthouse, which burned in the middle of the night in 1864, and the Loomis gang, the notorious horse robbers, were supposed to come to trial the following day. And also, Walsh Loomis showed up to fight the fire. Surprise, surprise.
What a guy.
But that was never documented.
It just so happened that on our visit, we were fortunate enough to meet Sheriff William F. Bonney, who was able to give us a glimpse into Morrisville's past.
See, I was elected sheriff in 1861, and it was a beautiful village. The trees would be tall, and they would just canopy over the dusty road that went down the center of the village, the Cherry Valley Turnpike. And here at Madison Hall, in October of 1864, well, it was October 11th, it was 2:30 in the morning, and I lived right next door at the sheriff's residence, and I heard the shouts of fire up and down the street. And I looked out the window, and smoke was billowing out of the cupola, and flames were coming out of the windows downstairs. The fire brigade was coming to throw water with their buckets, and finally the pumper came across the street. They tried to put the fire out, and they pumped water. They tried to pump and pump and pump, and the hoses had been cut. The hoses on the pumper had been cut. No water came out, and the building burned to the ground. Well, yes, Walsh Loomis was seen in the crowd at 3 o'clock in the morning. Now, what was he doing? He was very upset that someone would be so dastardly as to cut the hoses of the fire company. He was very angry, but I have my suspicions as to why he was really in this village, this beautiful village that now had cinders for a county courthouse. 1865, it was rebuilt, and you're standing in that building right now.
We have learned a lot about the Loomis gang down through the years, but today we have the distinct honor, I suppose, of meeting someone who can set us all straight. I'm going to find out the truth from the other side, from the mother of that famous gang, Mrs. Loomis.
We are a very enterprising family. We work very hard, and we are in the area often, and there are some stories that I just feel are not true and should not be spoken.
Why do you think people are saying these terrible things?
I think they're perhaps jealous of our fame. We are quite well known in the area, you know. It's a large family, and we're very busy in the area.
I saw your son here at the usual time, and they're blaming him for the fire. What do you think of that?
Well, I think it was an opportune for them to hone in on one of the members of our family. He just happened to be in town on business, and as many people are at the county seat, yes.
We head across the street to the restored historic Morrisville Firehouse, home to the actual original Morrisville fire pumper.
It was first built in 1852. It was built specifically to hold this pumper, and we took it over in 1997 to restore it. We being the Morrisville Historic Preservation Commission. Well, they have suction on one end. You can see the hose behind us. They throw that into one of the fountains. And on the other end, you can see the pressure cap on top, that gold dome. There would be a constant pressure, and that would send water up over the roofs of these tall buildings.
How rare is it to find a village where the original fire pumper is in the original firehouse? You have it right here in Morrisville. I learned something else today. When you see old pictures of beautiful fountains in places like Morrisville, they were not for aesthetics, they were for water to fight fires, for the bucket brigade and for pumpers like this.
As legend goes, Walsh Loomis still rides his horse through the 9-mile swamp, they say. He's searching for Filkins and his posse of men who ended his life that day.
Just a short walk down Main Street, we find the nearly 160-year-old former Kingman residence, now the Morrisville Public Library. It's a great place to spend a cold winter's day perusing the over 17,000 books or participating in the many community activities.
It was built in 1850 by Lyman Kingman for his family, and then he died in the Battle of Fair Oaks. So his wife Carolyn sold it to the Phelps family, and they kept it as their residence until 1903, in which case then Susanna Phelps Gage, their daughter, gave it to the village in June of 1903. It became the library. We opened in December 1903 with 760 volumes on our shelves, and now we have almost 17,500 in this library. It's a Victorian home, and you can see that from the very shots that you've already taken. Outside you can see that as well. Definitely took a long time to have it repainted this past summer with the different colors and stuff. So there's a lot to do here, from computer to wireless internet to movies to CDs. There's a lot of stuff that you can do while you're here.
Here I am in East LA and I'm searching for